Okay, it's Orlando Wilson here. I'm going to talk a little bit about travel security, the basics of flying. Now, everybody travels these days, be it for business or pleasure. And again, even if it's a low-level, supposed relaxing trip, you can still have problems. To me, when you're flying these days, it's any type of travel, it's a logistical issue. You need to make sure the day before you know where your flight's going from. You need to make sure you got all your paperwork, required vaccines, etc., etc., etc. So again, do that the day before. Don't wait until the last minute. And get to the airport early. I'm waiting for somebody now. They just made their flight. Get to the airports 3 hours early. Even though a lot of airports want you to check in 2 hours early, if you're there an hour early, go grab a coffee, relax. Last week I had an issue with somebody managing their travel, we can say, and they missed 3 flights in one day because it was a chain effect. They missed one, they missed the next, they missed the next. Luckily they ended up on a business class flight on their last trip, free of charge. But again, they were lucky. I'd say the person had the fecal touch, they turned out to have the Midas touch. But again, all that can screw things up big time. So get to the airports early, make sure you got your passports, make sure you got your paperwork, make sure you got your vaccinations, PCR tests, whatever the hell you need. Now, that's flying out. When you arrive at somewhere, make sure you know how to get from the airport to your destination, be it your hotel, be it an Airbnb, be it a friend's house, whatever. Know how you're going to get from the airport to your accommodation. If you're taking a bus, a train, make sure you know your routes, make sure you know where to buy the tickets. If you need to change money, do so in the airport, small amount because you tend to get bad exchange rates, but then you've got some cash in your pocket for if you need to pay a taxi drive or if you need to pay your bus fare, etc., etc. Now, if you're using taxis, you have to be very careful with taxi drivers everywhere. Everywhere I've been, taxi drivers have tried to scam me at some point. So always be careful if you're using taxis, because taxi drivers everywhere are the same, right? You get some very good ones, but you also get some very bad ones that will try and scam everybody at any opportunity. The general rule with taxis is you're getting in a car with somebody you don't know. That's everywhere. You're getting in a car with a stranger. That person can be a respectable person, that person can be a serial rapist, killer, etc., etc. If you read my book on kidnap and ransom, there's a story there about a guy that jumped into a taxi in Caracas and he ended up getting kidnapped, an express kidnapping. Before you go to a location, check the reviews on what they say about using taxis. Some are good, some are bad. Now, if you're going to use a taxi, know the route from the airport to your hotel, to your accommodation. Check it out on Google Maps. We've all got smartphones these days. Yeah? Use the GPS on your phone. When you jump in the cab, have your route already planned out, have the route on your phone, and follow the route the taxi driver is taking on your phone. Now, if he deviates too much, then you can politely correct him and ask him why he's trying to deviate. Taxi drivers might take you around in circles a few times just to add some extra pennies to the bill. But if it's a serious deviation, then you need to get out of the cab. So there's some little basic tips on departing and arriving at airports. But the main thing is, when you depart, when you're flying out, make sure you're there early, make sure you got your paperwork. When you're landing and you need to get to your destination, make sure you know how to get to your destination. And if you're using taxis, be very careful. I recommend in some ways get the taxi from a hotel or get a third party to book them. That way, if you're late, if you don't turn up at a specific time, then somebody can start asking questions. But remember about taxis wherever you are. You're getting in a car with a stranger. People can end up disappearing, and I'm surprised more don't. So be very careful using taxis. So we're back down to planning and preparation. So I have books on Amazon on travel security, kidnap and ransom, etc., etc. If you connect with me on social media, feel free to send me any relevant questions. I'm happy to answer them. In the meantime, travel safe, stay out of trouble, and be good little boys and girls.